Baba Karachi.
بابا خدا هست. All souls are one and Meher Baba is in everyone and in everything. So I'm welcoming you for the second session of reviewing Ali Akbar Shahpur Zaman Yazi. Allah was visit trip to America as well as to Mexico. Hello, now I'm going to talk in Farsi for translation. امروز دومین جلسه ای هستش که آقای تونی گریس راجع به سفر علی اکبر شاهپور زمان یزدی که یکی از مانداری های نزدیک بابا بودن سفرشون به آمریکا و به مکزیکو توضیح. مرسی. Go ahead, please.
I like to tell you what Mara told me on money, because this applies to each and every one of us. Mara told me one day, Tony, Baba's Nasar is on you, no doubt.
من میخوام توضیح بدم امروز راجع به چیزی که مهرا خانوم و مالی خانوم به من گفتن. مهرا خانوم به من گفتن تونی نظر بابا روی تو هست و هیچ شکی رو اون نداشته باش.
And then Mani told me sometime later, Tony, Baba has not 2 eyes on you, but 4 eyes.
و بعداً مانی خانوم هم به من گفتن که حضرت مهر بابا تنها 2 تا چشم روی تو نداره بلکه 4 تا چشم روی تو داره و نظرش به تو هستش.
And this applies to every member of the Iranian community here in Iran. And as Mayor Nush mentioned, to all the people that have lost their lives in these different parts of the world where there's trouble brewing. But here's the story of Aloba. Mayor Nush wanted me to tell you what transpired when I was staying in Florida. I wound up going to the airport. There must have been a lot of people, maybe 100, ready for our departure for Mexico. Aloba did so many wonderful and beautiful things, and being Aloba, he was a different person than the other Mandali. But more than anything else, he was in the Prem Ashram, and the other Mandali did not have that great, fantastic advantage, even though there were Baba's voices, that Aloba did. He grew up in Meher Baba's lap.
بله، آلوبا یکی از مانداری های بابا بودن و مزیتی که آلوبا داشت نه تنها اینکه مانداری بابا بود بلکه ایشون در پرمشرام بابا هم بودند. در سال 1926 27 هم اونجا بودند و از بچگی از دوران بچگی و کودکی بابا رو میشناختن.
I told one of the residents in Marabad, I think it was Peter Booth, to get a double entry into the country because I knew that by invitation of Rafael Villafane after Florida, which was a wonderful journey, we went to the airport and with about 100 Baba people.
بله، ما کار کاری که کردیم چون آلوبا رو میخواستیم بیاریم به آمریکا میبایست برای ایشون ویزا میگرفتیم و من به پیتر بوس گفتم که وقتی که میره ویزا میگیره به کانسلت حتما دبل انتری بگیره چون با یه ورودیش میتونه وارد آمریکا بشه و میتونه بره مکزیک و دوباره میتونه با ورودی دومش وارد آمریکا بشه.
And those visas were only issued in New Delhi because he was Iranian and there was a conflict with the US and Iran.
بله احتیاج داشتش که این ویزا رو بگیره 2 تا ورودی به آمریکا رو به خاطر که در اون موقع ما بین کشورهای آمریکا و ایران دعوا بود، خصومت بود.
And then when I go to the ticket counter, I find out that he has only one entry visa into the US. That if we travel to Mexico, he cannot go back into the US.
And that was in the airport in
Yes.
You wanted to go to Mexico. Is that correct?
Yes, they told me at the line, you know, where you go in and check in.
So وقتی که من و آلوبا در ایرپورت بودیم و میخواستیم بریم مکزیکو اونجا پاسپورت آلوبا رو چک کردن و گفتن که این فقط وان اینتری داره، دو تا ورودیه نداره و الان داریم بهتون میگیم که اگر از کشور آمریکا بره بیرون ایشون دوباره نمیتونه برگرده.
So I didn't know what to do. I felt lost because we had programs all around the U.S. to come back to. And if I went to Mexico, then it means that I have to cancel either Mexico and call Rafael via FANE, or cancel the other programs, or I was lost in a lost world. So what I did is I ran to the nearest little shop and I bought a big box of Tareyton cigarettes that I didn't smoke at that point. And I go into the bathroom. In those days you were allowed to smoke. And I just puffed away and saying, Baba, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What I should do? What I should do? You say you're the Lord of the universe. You say this and you say that. And you put me to a test. I don't know anything about what you're saying, Baba, because I don't trust what's going on. So I don't even trust you.
بعد ایشون خب خیلی حالتشون عوض میشه چون متوجه میشن که نمیتونه دوباره آلوبا رو بیاره ایران برگردونه بیارتشون آمریکا و خلاصه نمیدونسته که چه کار بکنه. دو دل بوده آیا ببرتش مکزیکو دیگه نمیتونه برگرده، اگر نبرتش مکزیکو همینجا آمریکا بمونه. پس جواب بابا دوستایی که در مکزیک هستن رو چی بده؟ اینه که خیلی در همین حال در فکر بود و ایشون میره سیگار میخره، یه بسته سیگار و میره دستشویی و شروع میکنه یکی بعد از دیگری سیگار میکشه و به بابا میگه که بابا تو خودت باید مسئله رو رفع بکنی، درست بکنی، چون من نمیدونم از دست من خارج هست.
And then I did trust Baba, but not full trust, okay? And I remember that what Mayor Baba said, that I am the Lord of the universe, that I am God, and I can make anything possible. So with that in my heart, still full of despair and anger and untrustful Mayor Baba, I boarded the airplane with Alaba, and boy was I angry.
اون موقع من هنوز 100% به بابا تراس نکرده بودم و ولی خب به بابا گفتم که این یک کاری هستش که تو درست کردی، تو کرییت کردی، خودت هم باید هم انجامش بدی و من میرم برمیگردم پیش آلوبا و آلوبا خیلی عصبانی بوده اون موقع که منو میبینه.
So we sit towards the back of the plane and tell Alaba, because he looks at me and he says, is there anything wrong? And he says, Alaba, I am so angry because we didn't have a second entry visa. And I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say that?
No. I said, I am really angry right now and I don't know the reason why. So Alaba reaches with his hand and then touches my left hand and gives it a little twist.
وقتی که سوار هواپیما میشیم ته هواپیما بودیم و من بغل دست آلوبا نشسته بودم. آلوبا میپرسه که چی شده، تو چرا اینقدر عصبانی هستی؟ و اونم آقای تونی هم به آلوبا میگه که بله من خیلی الان عصبانی هستم ولی دلیلش رو نمیتونم بهت بگم ولی دلم پره. اینه که آلوبام دست آقای تونی رو میگیره و میچرخونه.
And everything that I was feeling disappeared. I felt at peace, I felt quiet, I felt joyful to be sitting with one of the Premashram boys on top of everything and traveling to a foreign country. And I know that ahead there's going to be a lot of difficulties. I'm going to explain this to Rafael Villafani and Arsenio Rodriguez, that were the people that were waiting at the airport, along with their wife Lourdes and Arsenio's wife, which I forgot her name right now.
بله. خلاصه ما چیز میکنیم، میریم طرف مکزیک و فقط کاری که میتونستم بکنم این بودش که به همه چیزا رو بسپارم دست بابا و همینطوری که آلوبا دست منو چرخوند اصلا مثل این که تمام نگرانی و ناراحتی و دلواپسی و اینا یه دفعه تموم شد، پاک شد، رفت و اون موقع دیگه گفتم هر طوری که هرچه باد بالاخره میریم اونجا، همه کمک میکنن، رافائل هستن، آقای آرسنیو هستن، خانومشون هستن و همه کمک میکنن.
And we went to Rafael's house and I says, Rafi and Arsenio, I need to talk to both of you. And it says, I have a problem and I don't know what the solution might be. So please help me to figure this out. He says, he told them that what had transpired, that I could not go back to the U.S. with Alaba to continue the tour, and what I should do, book a Swiss Air back to India, or what should I do? And go ahead.
بله، وقتی که ما رسیدیم مکزیکو، آقای رافائل بودن و من به رافائل گفتم که ببین من در این دلما هستم چون آلوبا اینتری نداره، حالا چه کار بکنم و شاید باید دوباره بلیت سوئیس ایر رو از مکزیکو بگیرم و آلوبا رو مستقیم بفرستیم به مکزیک، مستقیم بفرستیم از مکزیک به هند چون دیگه نمیتونه به آمریکا برگرده.
And they said, Tony, the only thing that we can do is go to the American embassy and try to explain the head of the embassy what had transpired, that Ali Akbar Shakursaman is a guest of the Mexican population and they are the representatives. My daughter, Rafael tells Guy, my wife is the She's the granddaughter or what do you call that? Granddaughter, right?
بله. I don't know. You mean granddaughter or
Yeah.
or daughter-in-law?
No, granddaughter of the
Okay,
president of
granddaughter.
Mexico.
Okay.
And Rafael works for the United Nations. And this
Not Rafael, Arsenio.
Arsenio works for the United Nations, and he's a very influential person. So we're trying to explain to you that we just, as I knew that, you know, I would be able to help here because I am from America and I'm a responsible citizen and I serve in the armed forces and I'm highly decorated and I wouldn't break any American law. And Rafael also says, well, you know, I have a lot of political influence in here. All my friends are in the Congress of Mexico and this and that, and I own this nightclub and the other nightclub and this one and that one and the other one, Baby O's and Estrés and Lula. And this Arsenio Rodriguez, he's working for the United Nations in Mexico, so they can testify, and please allow us to get another entry into the United States of America. And the fella says to us, looks at the three of us, especially at Rafael, and he says, I don't care who you are, if you're related to the president or not. This has nothing to do with the American embassy. And this Mr. Rodriguez, even though he works for the United Nations, he's got no solid grounds for anything. So your answers do not matter. And as for you, Mr. Chris, I request that you make it a point to forget about it and figure this out for yourself.
بعد پس ایشون آقای تونی و آقای رافائل و آقای آرسنیو هر سهشون میرن پیش امبسی، پیش کنسولگری آمریکا در مکزیک و چون فکر میکردن که آقای رافائل چون یه مقدار با دیپلمات‌های مکزیک آشنا بود و آقای تونی هم که بازنشسته شده بود از میلیتری، از چیز جنگ و فارسیش یادم نمیاد چیزای که میرن آدم میکشن، ارتش، متشکرم، ارتش از ارتش آمریکا به هر حال خدمت کرده بود و بازنشسته شده بود و همچنین آقای آرسنیو هم در سازمان ملل متحد کار میکرد. بعد اینا فکر کرده بودن که خب به هر حال هر سه تاشون خیلی اینفلوئنشیال هستن و میتونن تاثیر بذارن با پشتوانه‌ای که دارن روی کنسولیت و بگن که تو رو خدا یه دونه ویزا بده، یه ری اینتری ویزا بده که آقای علی اکبر شاه پورزمان دوباره برگرده به آمریکا، چون دوستداران مهربابا هنوز در آمریکا، در لس آنجلس و کالیفرنیا و ونکوور و کلرادو اونا همه منتظر هستن، چون تا حالا همش ایست کوست بوده. حالا ایشون بس میرفتن قسمت مرکزی و قسمت غربی آمریکا و کنسولت هم که اینا رو میبینه و این ستا رو میبینه عصبانی میشه، میگه شما هر چیزی میخواید باشید، قانونه. من برخلاف قانون آمریکا عمل نمی کنم، چون کار خودم از دست میدم و من در واقع نمیتونم هر کسی میخواید باشید، من نمیتونم این قانون رو عوض بکنم و این چیز رو بردارید ببرید، این پاسپورت رو بردارید ببرید. و با آقای تونی هم میگه که این یک مسئله ای هستش تونی که خودت باید حل بکنی و از دست من خارجه. Yes.
And so I told Rafi, I said, Rafi, why don't you get me a box of cognac?
پس ما که از کنسولر برگشتیم من به رافائل گفتم پس چرا یه دونه جعبه کنیاک، یه دونه بطری کنیاک واسم نمیاریم؟ بازش کن.
And the best Mexican cigarettes that they got on the market, and I don't care what they are, but they have to be the best. And I'm gonna go get drunk at my basement because Alaba did not like anyone smoking around them. And there was one time that one of the caretakers of Rafael's horses had a smoke. His name was Memo. Alaba says, don't ever smoke a cigarette. And the next day he lost the desire.
Oh.
He never smoked again, Memo. So these things happen.
Yes. So
Memo was his name.
Memo was
The horse trainer.
The horse trainer, بله. پس ایشون آلوبا، یعنی آقای تونی به رافائل میگن که برو بهترین کنیاک و بهترین سیگاری که تو مکزیک گیر میاد به من بده که من میخوام بخورم و بکشم بالا و اینا. ولی آلوبا همیشه هیچ وقت دوست نداشت که کسی سیگار بکشه نزدیکش و خیلی هم عصبانی میشد و آقای تونی هیچ وقت نمیتونست نزدیک آلوبا سیگار بکشه. و وقتی که یکی از کارمندای آقای رافائل که از اسبشون نگهداری میکردن به نام ممو ایشون سیگار کشیده بودن و وقتی که آلوبا رفت اونجا گفتش دیگه سیگار نکش، این کار خیلی بدیه میکنی، همینجا استاپش کن، دیگه سیگار نکش. خیلی محکم به ممو میگه و روز بعد ممو اصلا دیگه هوس و حال و هوای سیگارم از سرش بیرون میره و دیگه سیگار نمیکشه.
And I tell you this, Baba, because you know it's true.
و من اینو دارم میگم بابا واسه اینکه شما میدونی که این حقیقت داره. یعنی هر جایی که آلوبا میرفت و یه حرفی میزد همون حرف تاثیرگذار بود روی مردم و در واقع همونطوری که آلوبا میخواست رفتار میکردن.
So I go to my room and smoke and drink cognac. And I'm not a drinker until I just felt really woozy. And I says, I gotta get ready to go back to the consulate tomorrow and I cannot have any liquors in my breath. So I better quit, but I was drunk. And I did it. Got up the next morning, went to the consulate again. I gotta see the head of the consulate and nobody else. And I'm gonna plead, beg, whatever it takes, you know. How can I butter this man up? You know, I don't know. But anyhow, I'm gonna replead my case because it's a necessity. And then I called Winnie Barrett in Colorado. She was the head of the Mama group, and it was a very large group. I didn't even know there was a group in Colorado. And it says, Winnie, we'll have to postpone it temporarily, but we're gonna go there. And I'll let you know what day we'll arrive at the airport. So please excuse us, because there's a few complications in Mexico and I gotta sort them out.
پس من روز بعد از اینکه مشروبم و کنیاکم و میخورم و سیگار میکشیده بودم شبش، بعد میگم دیگه بسته چون روز صبح بعد دوباره میباس میرفتم تو کنسولگری و گفتم که میرم با رئیس اونجا حرف میزنم و دعا و التماس رو پاش میفتم که این تمبر ورودیه رو دوباره به هم بده و از اون طرف هم از کلرادو با هم تماس گرفته بودن. خانم وینی was the last name. Her name was Winnie Brett.
Winnie Barrett.
Oh, Winnie Barrett.
Winnie Barrett. She lives in Nashville.
She lives in Asheville.
Now
she lives in Asheville. بله. و اون موقع توی کلرادو بودن و ایشون میگفتن چی شده. آقای تونی بهشون گفته که یه مقدار مشکل پیش اومده ولی ایشالله که درست بشه، فقط صبر کنید و دعا پیش بابا بکنید، ایشالله درست بشه. Yes.
So early in the morning again, back to the embassy. Have to face the same man. Go through the channels. And they told me in quite a few, this man does not want to see your face around here. And I says, yes, he don't want to see my face, but I want to see his face. And I will not leave because I am an American citizen and I'm highly decorated in the United States. You have no idea what transpires in Vietnam, and you tell that guy I'm a Vietnam veteran. 3 years in Vietnam.
That's right. اینه که وقتی که how many days did you go every day? One at a time. Okay. Yeah, so this روز دوم که میرن اونجا کنسولت، رئیس اونجا به کنسولت میگه که بهشون بگه که من احتیاجی نداره تو رو ببینم، اصلا فیست هم نمیخوام ببینم، قانونه و خلاصه جمعش کن برو. بعد ایشون میگن که چرا همچین حرف میزنی؟ من 3 سال در جنگ ویتنام خدمت کردم، جنگیدم، من آمریکایی هستم و ارتشی هستم و تو باید بیای و صحبت منو گوش بدی. Yes.
And the ambassador says, I don't care who you are. You might be the Secretary of the Navy, but I frankly don't care. You can go back and leave all over here, Mr. Shapursaman. And says, I am not going to do that. I will be back tomorrow to pester you again, sir, until you have to have the years to hear what I have to tell you, and I shall be back every day. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
بعد رئیس کنسولگری میگه که هر کسی میخوای باش، اگر میخوای حتی منشی یا سکرتری ارتشم باش، من کاری از دستم بر نمیاد و نمیتونم واسط بکنم، جمعش کن برو. اونم میگه که شما هم هر کسی میخوای باش، من دوباره اگر اینو بهم ندی، من دوباره فردا میام و در میزنم و اینقدر میام که از رو بری.
And then I have to send a telegram to the Mandalay, to all the Mandalay. One telegram for Mani, Erich, Valji, everybody that was alive, the girls and everything, telling them everything is going perfect with Alba because they wanted their weekly report.
از اون طرفم مانداری ها هر هفته یه ریپورتی از من میخواستن که ببینن آلوبا در چه حاله، چه کار میکنه. اینی که من هر هفته میبایست یه دونه ریپورت میفرستم برای ایمانی و ایرج و مهرا خانوم و مهرو و همه اطلاع بدم راجع به آلوبا.
And I told Rafi, take him and entertain him because I'm supposed to be taking care of him, and tell him that I have some relatives somewhere in Mexico. What relatives? But I have relatives, huh? And I have to go visit my relatives because I have not seen him in so long.
Yeah, you told Rafi to tell
Aloba.
Oh.
So he wouldn't know that where the heck I was going.
Yes. پس وقتی که ایشون میرفتن تو کانسلت هر روز قرار بود که برن و میرفتن آلوبا خب میگفتش تونی گریس کجاست؟ بریز تونی گریس. بعد رافائلم میگفتش که ایشون رفته که یه سری فامیل و آشنا و دوست داره تو خود مکزیک رفته از اونا دیدن کنه و البته هیچ فامیل و دوست آشنایی هم نداشتم، همه فامیل و دوست داشتم آمریکان، ولی خب اینو گفتیم به آلوبا.
And then the weekend comes after the consulate refuses to look at my face. Get this guy out of here. Okay? But the weekend comes. And me, Rafi, and Arsenio and their wives, you know, we went to the Villa de Guadalupe. She's the Virgin of Mexico, the one where Juan Diego did this thing with the roses in the 14th century, so the Spaniards would build the biggest church in the world and everything else, right, for the Virgin. So all of us thrilled to death.
It was a church.
Yeah, the church, the main church. And prior to that, Raphael tells his teacher of catechism, which is like the Bible. They teach children how to study about God and this and that. So she also can come along. So we go to her house first, pick her up, and Raphael has several chauffeurs. He's multi-millionaire by Baba's grace. And we go see her. And all of us just all enthralled with all the pictures of the Virgin and this and that and the other. And we find the conversation, you know, going on with the lady. She understood some English fairly good, you know, and talking about God and this and that, but she doesn't know that he's a Hungary, you know, because, you know, always been a little bit careful as to reveal by, but the thing is, he doesn't know that I have the biggest damn problem in the world. And we have a lovely time. Then we go to the Villa de Guadalupe, and we spend almost a half a day watching the Aztec type of guys, you know, with paints and all of that, and the Chichimecs and the Zapotecs and this ones and that, doing their dancing with their spears and hatchets and this, and all of us just loving it. And then Nalova says to me, Tony, I had a dream last night that I was walking on a road paved with gold, and there was gold everywhere, and I can grab all the way, all that I wanted to, because all about wanting to go build the statue of Mary Baba in Ingota, Hamirpur, the second place, one of the valuable places where Mary Baba stayed. And I wasn't going to Ingota, but Baba stayed in the palace because, well, might as well say it. There was a rich man that owned all the lands and this and that. His name was Mr. Palibar. And they decided to build a palace in a village. Unheard of. Nowhere else in India you build a palace in the village. And that's where beloved Mary Baba wound up. And he stayed. He didn't know that he was building it for the King of Kings. And all of us dreamed, because he knew Mr. Polybar and everything else, you know, it's like, now we got to get a temple for Baba, you know, I got to get him a statue. And that was why he was thinking about money and not for any other reason, because he was a person that could care less if he had 5 paisa in his pocket. I'm repeating if you want me to.
No, that's okay. و در همون زمان وقتی که مکزیک بودن میبرن آلوبا رو توی اون چرچ یا اون شراینی که Virgin of
Guadalupe.
Guadalupe هستش. And was she a saint or was that
No,
Saint Mary?
the apparition of Mary of Jesus.
Oh, that was Mary of Jesus, the statue of Mary.
It was right in
the
it,
flowers and
with
all
the flowers, and her face
And
was
face.
printed in it as proof that because the bishops and they didn't grow any roses at the time because it was in a place called Monte Tepeyac. But I don't want to keep interfering in stories.
Okay, so that was on 14th century that
Yes,
it appeared.
late century.
Okay.
That they wanted proof that the Virgin, because he was even refused to be there, because he was the lowest class of Mexican. He was a farmer.
Who was he?
Juan Diego.
Oh, Juan Diego.
That
And
was
then
his
the
name.
Virgin is
Mara.
Mary.
Mara or Mary.
Okay, yes,
Okay,
that's
call it
right.
the same.
So he was the person who brought the Christianity to Mexico in 14th century.
For the Indians.
For the Indians. Okay,
From
I
the
got
Spaniards.
it.
From the Spaniards.
Okay. ایشون آلوبا رو میبرن تو این چرچی که در قرن 14 میلادی بنا شده بود چون اسپانیایی‌ها که مکزیکو در ابتدا گرفته بودن کتاب بایبل خودشون رو برده بودن و یک در واقع یک مجسمه از مری مادر جیزس درست کرده بودن اونجا و گل گذاشته بودن گلای روز و اینا و تا اون موقع تو مکزیک گل روز نبوده و اونا در واقع روزا رو آورده بودن با خودشون و البته یه چرچ خیلی بزرگی بود و خیلی مردم میرفتن اونجا و خیلی ها هم معجزه دیدن از این یه آقایی به نام هوان that was his name was Juan yeah.
Don Juan.
Don Juan
means John.
John بله و یک مکان مقدسی بود و آلوبا هم رفت اونجا و خیلی خیلی دوست داشت و خیلی خیلی همه جاشو نگاه کرد و did they say the پروردگار prayer in that church?
They say the Christian prayers, you know, the rosary, you know, the Father in heaven, oh that Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come and this and that, you know, and the Virgin Mary, of course, she is the queen. She's above the Christ and the Lord of the Spaniards. So everybody's name happens to be Mary. 1 out of 3 people's name is Mary. And Joseph's for Jesus' father. Yeah.
Jose,
And everybody's name is Jesus.
Jesus.
And Pedro is for St. Peter and St. Desmond and St. Dalwar and this one.
Antonio is for Antonio.
This is a fun meeting,
Yeah,
man.
and then the lady who came, or who was she?
She was the lady that taught Raphael exclusively the catechism, meaning learning about the Bible, learning about Jesus, about the scriptures, about what Moses did, and
Religious
this and that.
teacher.
Yes, religious, but a wonderful lady, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And it is a habit of the Mexican people that when you're growing up, you go learn all that you can about the Lord. That's why
Very
they,
good habit. Excellent.
yes,
Excellent.
every one of them has to go to character, including me.
Yeah, that's what find Baba.
I saw Mary Baba when I was 14 years old.
Yes.
That's another
That in
story.
Hollywood.
That's another story.
Roosevelt Hotel.
Let's leave that one out.
بعد یک خانومی هم ایشون ملاقات میکنن که در واقع معلم رافائل و دیگران بوده، معلم مذهبی ایشون بوده و این خانوم هم خیلی علاقه‌مند میشن به آلوبا و با هم دوست میشن. Yes, go ahead.
And then, being the weekend, Rafi went to show us his nightclub, the called Estress, because he built a railway track, and he put like old trains in it and decorated them and all that. And there was the Millionaires Club in it, that you had to be a millionaire because only that Dom Perignon was served in that place. It was for rich people. And Alaba just fell in love with the train, and he was gazing and gazing. And now he's going to the Millionaires Club, and he sits at the Millionaires Club like a millionaire with a big grin on his face, and he looked so beautiful. Alaba looked like he was glowing with joy, with praising his beloved, and God knows what the heck he was doing, but he was just thrilled to death to see the Capitol and all of that. And I've been at the Millionaires Club. He must, because he's thinking about Ingota. Don't forget Ingota. One of the main places is the Hammerport where Baba visited in 1952 and 1954, November and February of 1954. November of 52 and 54.
Okay.
February 54.
What happened to Aloba interaction with the lady, with the religion lady?
Just DVD, somebody came.
Okay.
Just
Just
wait. He says we got plenty of tape.
Yeah, we have plenty of time. بعد از اینکه میرن صبح چرچ، بعد از ظهرش میره آلوبا رو میبرن نایت کلاب. از کلیسا میرن جای مستی و اینا، و اون نایت کلاب اونجا هم خیلی آدمای ثروتمند و با تأثیری بودن و سرشناس بودن که میرفتن اونجا جمع میشدن، و آلوبا هم مثل یه دونه پادشاه رفته بود اونجا نشسته بود و صورتش خیلی روحانی شده بود و روی صندلی اون برده بودنش و اونجا نشسته بود.
Then I tell Rafael and Arsenio, hey, listen now, we're going to have to come up with some literature. And there was a Globe magazine that showed Alaba as one of Baba's mandali. And the little book like this, it was, I forgot who it was, but it was a very famous book in those days, all about the Mary Baba story. What was the name of that book? Stay with God or something? No, something like that, but it was the reddish, blackish book.
Life at its best? Life at its
No.
Reddish and black.
I'll try to
Okay.
remember. But anyhow, he's got the story of Mary Baba. Okay, so we get some Globe magazines and get some books where Alaba's mentioned. And I got a little bit of Bible to tell that guy that because I am dreading the following day. And then we go visit all these peoples. And here's Alaba walking amongst the millionaires.
Excuse me, can you adjust the camera? We don't want Tony Grease's head off. Okay. Our cameraman is not present, so excuse me, I have to.
Yeah,
we
be
can
careful,
just-
honey.
I
You
know,
both
but
look
I
beautiful, by the way.
Because
You
this-
look beautiful. You look so
Okay.
handsome.
This
So
is gonna be the funniest story you've ever heard.
I
All
need
right.
some coffee.
Okay,
I love the
go
micro.
ahead.
It's
good. Go ahead.
Well, in any case,
Uh-huh.
and now I have a little bit of.
You covering Baba. Okay,
yeah.
right there.
Remind me
Good,
that.
perfect.
And I have a little something to tell the ambassador, the head of the embassy.
Yes.
So I show up all regal and totally, this is who Mr. Shakur Samanas is. And he's required a visit, and this is his schedule. Here's the airplane tickets for this place, from the other place, all the way to Washington, D.C., and back to South Carolina. Please issue the visa, and here's his credentials.
Yes.
And the guy just looks at me and I says, did I tell you not to come here anymore? And he says, sir, I'll let you know that I was gonna be here every day to pester you until you approve. If that, this is the American consulate boy, you're welcome to be here as an American, but you are no counselor of any sorts. So today, again, don't you bother me. And I told him, I'll see you tomorrow.
Tony, go ahead and finish up the story, and then I can summarize it.
Okay, and so then what happens is that we go to the rich people houses.
Yes.
Okay, and these are the cream of the crop, the lawyers, the big congressmen, the this ones, and that one in Mexico, and Oliver tells me to bring a big pencil or a crayon, which I have. What's he gonna use it for? And he walks into the richest houses, and he looks all over the place for a picture of Baba or Jesus or someone. He doesn't see any, and he puts an X this big, and it says, you don't have God in this house, you have no light. I request that you put a picture of Meher Baba or Jesus Christ right on that wall today.
Wow.
And he did that quite often. And boy, is Raphael embarrassed as hell. You don't go to rich people's houses and do that. But that was her lovely alibi. Because he lived with God. He was a disciple of God. And he's lost in a lost world of Mexicanism, Americanism, and this and that and the other, And he was very, very happy, but he don't know what I'm going through. Every night the freaking booze and the smokes and the fright and the this and the that, and what am I gonna do, what I should do, Baba this and that and the other.
Yes.
And then, it just so happens, this is the most beautiful part. I says, Paloma, we have to go to the embassy because there's this small matter that we have to clear up. And I says, you told me that you want the money for Ngota. Maybe Raphael will be kind enough to help you with that. But don't ask him yet. So we see a vendor, with a derby hat and all of that, all lottery tickets, and he tells Lourdes, you buy all the tickets that he's got in there. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, huh?
Wow.
And he says, and we'll win the lottery, and we'll split it. You keep half, and send the other half to my next destination in the name of Tony Grace, because he'll surely give it to me. So that. Now, going to the embassy to plead. And only God is Meher Baba, and only God can do this because he is the supreme commander of it all. The knower of all minds and hearts, as he says, and the impossible becomes possible for him. And he creates the biggest event in history. We go to the embassy. Now, I am together with Raphael and Arsenio and the wives and everybody else to plead. And we go in there, And he just looks at Mr. Shapur Salman very strangely, and he says, "This is Mr. Ali Akbar Shapur Salman." And the guy is just looking at Baba's picture, and he's got the book, you know, somewhere in his office, and the magazines and this and that. And he goes, "I told you not to come back here again." And he walks halfway to his office, and he comes right back, and he says, "You know, maybe I can give him a visa, because I just got transferred to New Delhi, and I gotta leave for New Delhi immediately." The guy gets transferred to New Delhi out of the clear blue sky, and only God can do that. And that God is Meher Baba, the divine beloved, that can do as he wishes with our hearts, with our minds.
Yeah.
And look, and then I quit drinking. I was at peace.
How beautiful.
I couldn't believe, but the ordeal wasn't over yet, because the Iranian passport was this big,
Yeah.
and I had to go every day stand at the Mexican embassy looking for the big passport, because the Mexican passports they were color green and the same size as the American. Then tell this and then I'll continue. Because fun.
Okay. Tony, while you are doing, why don't you finish up all the story and I will
because I'm
translate.
Gonna give a lot of details out.
Yeah, so that's interesting that the consulate says, well, I'm not even working here anymore, so it's off of my duty, and I got transferred to New Delhi, India, so I might as well just, you know, in God's will, you know, God's cause, just go ahead and give a re-entry visa to America. Because I'm not even here now. I have to go to India.
Mexican consulate for 4 or 5 days.
Right.
And it's standing line of 1,000 people. And all the way looking as the queue goes in and out and all of that. I'm looking for a big brown passport, because the Iranian passports were this big.
Yes.
About bigger than the American passport or the Mexican passport. And I'm looking for the brown passport. And after 4 days or 5 days of this ordeal, oh yeah, another funny thing is we went to the ranch where we had servants, and all the Lourdes only would have to go like that. And the whole town was owned by Rafael Villafane. He had 200 racehorses and all of that. And all of us loved to go play and look at the horses. And all of us having the grand time. And he's so pleased with me because he thought I went to see my family and this and that. And he yells out at Rafael's house, "Here comes the next Alaba!" And I start trembling. "Oh no, Baba, please don't make that come true."
You don't want to be a next Aloba.
No way, Jose, man.
Yes.
And then things turn out to be so beautiful, so many beautiful things that happen, you know. And out of the 13 dons, he did what he did, you know. But, you know, we're all different people. We all have different lives. We all have different thoughts. We all have different actions. We have different motives. We have everything that is unique to each and every one of us individuals. Well, I just happened to be with the Brent Ashram boy, which is more than a privilege that I can say. And I love my Alabat till today. Till today, I shall never quit loving him. And then we're almost finished.
Yes.
And then the lady.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, to mention the lady. Yes.
So we get up early in the morning because the flight is going to leave
Okay.
early, headed to Winnie Barrett's house. She already knows that we're coming.
Yes.
And she had, her habit was to go to,
Just have to make sure that your voice comes.
okay, I'll sit down.
Okay, here, you can stand.
Okay.
You like to stand?
Yeah, that's fine. So anyhow, this lady loves to go to the Villa de Guadalupe, but only in the evening time. And this morning, she gets up early in the morning, by 8 o'clock she's up, and there's nobody at the church. Nobody. If there's a dozen people, that's too many. And there's thousands of people, and there's that lady. She had that urge to go that morning. And then she comes strolling by, and I got some more funny stories, huh? But, and all of us sees her. She was in the front and we were on the back. And I don't know how all of us recognized who the lady was. We didn't. And he says, tell that lady to come up on the back to the front. And then they go outside of the Virgin Guadalupe Shrine, and they have a conference between the two. I mean, this is more than majestical, because it only happens when this lady never gone in the morning to get up and go. And there's Alaba, and then they have their little chat for whatever length of time it took. Isn't that like, only Baba can do that. And only Alaba had the desire, the longing, and this and that and the other. But we haven't even gotten to Colorado yet or California to figure that out.
That's very good.
So you can translate all of that
Yes,
and we
yes.
continue. And have that lady bring me another cup of coffee.
Can you do that, Chris? Can you get him another cup?
جی بابا پس چیزی که اتفاق خیلی جالبی که اینجا میفته اینه که در تمام این مدت هر روز صبح آقای تونی هی میرفته تو کانسلت، آقای میگفته که نه کارت انجام نمیشه، وقت تو تلف نکن برو، ولی اون پافشاری میکرده، میگفته من میام اینقدر عذابتون میدم، عزتتون میکنم که بالاخره اینو استمپو بزنید روی پاسپورت آقای شاپور زمان، اگر نه منو هر روز اینجا خواهید دید. بعد اتفاق جالبی که میفته یه شنبه یک شنبه میشه و بعدش روز دوشنبه دیگه چیزی نمونده بوده که آلوبا مسافرت بکنه، پروازش برگرده بیاد به آمریکا. به آلوبا میگن که آلوبا پس شما هم امروز با ما بیا بریم کانسولت آمریکا و این رینتری ویزاتو بگیریم. بعد آلوبا میره و با همون کت و شلوار قهوه‌ای که داشته و عکس بزرگ بابا، باطن بابام اینجا روی سینه‌اش بوده و میره تو و میسته. آقای کنسولتی که اونجا بودن یا رئیس کنسولتی که اونجا بودن یه دفعه از آفیسش میاد بیرون و میاد آلوبا رو از سر تا پا نگاه میکنه و نگاه اون عکس بابا روی سینه‌اش میکنه و میگه که منو امروز ترانسفر کردن، یعنی از کارم منتقل کردن به نیو دهلی تو هندوستان. من اینجا دیگه امروز اینجا حتی دیگه کار نمی کنم، من آردی صبحی ترانسفر کردن. پس چی میشه که هیچ اشکال نداره، چون من اینجا کار نمی کنم الان میتونم این امضا رو بکنم و اون ورودیه رو به روی این پاسپورت بدم و بیا و اون پاسپورت رو میده دست ایشون، میگه که چون منو بدون اینکه حتی خودمم توقعی داشتم که این اتفاق بیفته، دیدم که ترانسفرم کردن برم تو نیو دهلی هند و پاسپورت رو میدن با رینتری و برمیگردن. اون وقت روز بعدش که میرن دوباره همون اون چرچ ویرجین آف گواتمالی اونجا میرن ویرجین آف گواتمالا
Guadalupe.
گواتلوپه I'm so sorry ویرجین آف گواتلوپه میرن تو همون چرچ صبح زود که میرن چندین نفر شاید 6 نفر 7 نفر تا 12 نفر بیشتر نبودن ولی یک دفعه همون اون خانومی که معلم دینی رافائل و دیگران بوده اونجا پیداش میشه و اون معلم بدون اینکه حتی بدونه که آلوبا قراره که بیاد توی چرچ و ایشون هم اونجا پیداش میشه و برای مدت خیلی طولانی آلوبا و این خانوم در خلوت در سکوت با هم مراقبه میکنن یا با هم بودن. I talked about the lady at that church that she came and she waited with Aloba. They met again, you know, on that day. And what happened with that lady eventually?
I don't know, because, you know, I know the Mexicans want to go get talks there, but so far I refuse Australia and all these places, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I should have gone to these places when they asked me to, but they will ask me again. I was invited to Australia several occasions and by another Anthony fella that did all the touring and to Mexico many times to give talks, and I will see Rafael this just in 2-3 months for a Martiti. Then I will accept the invitation and more than glad that go to Mexico because the Baba group has grown up to 50-60 members.
Currently in Mexico there are...
Currently,
Okay,
at
very
least.
nice. Yeah, at least.
And they have their big Baba gatherings and everything, and they do their little sahabas, and it's all because Baba wanted Bauji to go. He wanted Dr. Barucha to go. He wanted to Alba to go, and whoever else I sent there or whatever, you know, because all of us, John, from my reference, referring to what Mayor Baba said, he carried the seed of love of Mayor Baba to plant in a country named Mexico.
Oh. بعد آلوبا اینو به ایشون گفته که دلیلی که اصلا من اومدم مکزیک این بوده که عشق مهر بابا رو بیام و در این کشور بکارم. دانه عشق مهر بابا رو بیام در کشور مکزیکو و بکارم. این مسئولیت من در قبول کردم از مهر بابا. بابا این از من خواسته بود و این کارو کردم.
So we wind up catching a flight. Before we went to where the horse races, this ends Mexico, because there was a horse named Maharashtra that was being trained by Memo, the guy that Guillermo was his name, but short is Memo. And he wanted to see Maharashtra. And he told Rafael, you run Maharashtra when Maharashtra is ready to be ready for the races, because he is a good horse. And the reason that Alaba went there, because Rafael's name is horse Maharashtra.
Maharashtra, after the state of Maharashtra?
After the state of Maharashtra.
Oh, and Aloba was okay for the horse to race?
He said this horse will win races.
Oh, because of the name.
Because whatever reasons he had, because I don't know.
آره. یه آقای رافائل یه 200 اسب داشتن که این اسبا رو بعضیاشون رو میذاشتن توی مسابقه اسب سواری، اسبرانی و یک اسبی داشتن به نام ماهاراشترا که همون نام استیت یا ایالتی هستش که فکر میکنم بامبی و مهرآباد مهرآزاد هم درش باشن، همه اونا استیت ماهاراشترا هستن و آلوبا خیلی خوشش اومده بود از این اسبه، چرا اسمش ماهاراشترا بود.
Then we boarded the train sometime in that evening and we headed towards Colorado where there's a big Baba group headed by Winnie Barrett. And she was a piano player. And at first we had our Baba gatherings, and I had to be a little strict with Oliver. I had to learn how to be strict against my own wishes and desires because I got to obey the mandali too and send them a good report. So all of us behavior in Colorado was impeccable. Everybody loved him, and we had all the things, Winnie Barrett's. And then he discovers there's a place called McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's. Alova discovers McDonald's.
He says the big M and the cars standing in line and all of that. And he says people eating outside. So Alova wants to go to McDonald's. Of course he's going to go to McDonald's. So from then on, our meetings were conducted not at Winnie's house, but at McDonald's. So he could have his McDonald's hamburgers and his Coke every day.
وقتی که آلوبا میرن به کلرادو، خب البته دعوت شده بودن توسط خانم وینی و که بیان و در خونهشون بمونن و یک مقداری از دوستداران بابا هم داوطلب شده بودن که برای آلوبا غذا درست کنن. وقتی که آلوبا تو یکی از این خیابون‌های این ساین مکدونالدز که یه دونه ام بزرگ هست میبینه، میگه که من اینجا چی هست؟ میگه که خب یه جاییه که همبرگر میفروشن، پس بریم اینجا. بعد از اون موقع به بعد همش میرفتن تو مکدونالدز و اونجا غذا میخوردن، نمیرفتن منزل اون خانم که غذا بخورن، چون غذاشون رو تو مکدونالد خورده بودن.
So finally Alaba begins to listen to me because I'm the one that's been strict. In any case, he wanted my whole focus and attention on him 24/7, and I am going to give it to him 24/7. Make his tea at 6 o'clock in the morning, just the way the Maharashtrians do it, and all that. I'm going to look after it, Alaba. But at the same token, I need a break, man, because how many weeks did I stay drunk and smoking cigarettes and all that, and that's a weird thing for me to do, and I'm gonna go see my mama because she lived in Los Angeles, and my mother was very religious, very saintly-like. So me and Alaba got together, and to see my mama, and Alaba just fell in love with icons of Jesus Christ and the Virgin and the crucifixes and this and that, and he was so happy to meet my mama. My mama whips out the guitar and begins to play Begin to Begin for him in the guitar, because she was a guitarist.
Oh, your mother?
Yes, and a singer, Begin, yeah.
Wow, in English?
She did it in Spanish.
Oh, she did the begin in Spanish in
And I
front
can-
of Alova.
in front
That's
of-
great, yeah.
Oh, I was thrilled to death. Now we're in Los Angeles, but I am still shaken to a core. So, from Colorado, I called Palmera side. Mark
You
Palmer.
called who? Mark Palmer.
Mark Palmer.
Yes.
Bauji called him Palmerasan.
Right.
He was a great soul on this planet and one of my good friends. He was from Chicago, Illinois. And I told him, I got you a nice ticket to Los Angeles for you to join me in Alabama because I'm going to need a break. I'm very tired from this journey, because I'm not telling them the events that happened whatsoever. No, you go choop. No, and you got to take over for me in Los Angeles.
اوکی. پس ایشون تو این سفری که با آلوبا بودن خب خیلی هیجان داشتن به خاطر همین ویزا گرفتن دوباره که برگردن بیان و اومده بودن کلرادو همش دنبال آلوبا بریم این بر بریم اون بر و ایشون حس کرده بودن که حالا باید جدی باشن با آلوبا و بگن که خب حالا منم میخوام کارهای خودم رو بکنم و به آلوبا گفتن که لس آنجلس سفر بعدیمون لس آنجلس هست و من دوست دارم که برای مدتی پیش مادرم باشم و آقای مارک پالمر رو واسش بلیت فرستادم که بیاد و ایشون رو آلوبا رو همراهی بکنه. آقای مارک پالمر خدا بیامرز شدن و خیلی روح خوبی بودن و آلوبا البته اومد مادرم رو دیدن در لس آنجلس و مادر من موسیقیدان خیلی خوبی بودن و ایشون با گیتار خودشون به زبان اسپانیایی شعر بیگین رو خوندن و آلوبا خیلی دوست داشت این شعر رو و خیلی هم به خاطر عشق مادرم به حضرت مسیح و حضرت مری خیلی مادرم رو دوست داشتن و قدردانی میکردن به خاطر عشقش به Jesus, به حضرت مسیح.
And then we are headed to Los Angeles. And I had called Mark Palmer to be there. And I need to have a meeting with him. A private meeting that is going to last a long time. Because I tell, look, I got to send a report every week. So you have to send me a report. Your next destination is a Sufi center in San Francisco. All the way up into Washington, D.C. And I don't remember if they went to Ginger Candies in Boston and New York and God knows how many places. And I have to chill out because I got to take Aloma back to India. But I need this report. And you be in control. You have to listen to Alaba, what he says to you, and you make suggestions to Alaba on a very kind and proper manner, but be strict. So we're in Santa Monica Boulevard. We went to the Iranis first. We stayed with some Iranian families. And Alaba just ran out of pictures of Maribala when he's grabbing his feet. And I have to send them all the way up to make prints of it because they were not even prints. They were in that one paper page.
Oh,
right?
Photocopy.
Photocopy,
okay.
Right. And the Iranians were lined up. All the Iranis of LA were in there, man.
I remember that.
You were there?
Yeah, I was in college at that time, so I couldn't participate in all the events. But it was so funny that when I walked in to Santa Monica Center, Meher Center in Meher Baba Center in Santa Monica, and go to the second floor. I remember there was a big event and Aloba was talking, and in the middle of the talk, I enter and he pointed to me and he says, "This lady works more than all of you combined." And I'm like, embrace and shy, and why did, what happened? And he says that this lady gets up early in the morning, goes to school, after school goes to work and does this and does that, and she works more than all of you combined. So that was his compliment to me.
And it was a combination of 4 Baba centers because they had just bought the land,
Yes.
and they were going to build a new Baba center in this posh area, that was, it was really posh, I should say, the new Baba center. And so I told Alaba, I says, Alaba, here's Mr. Mark Palmer. He's met you quite a few times to India. He goes to India every year. He's a fabulous guy, and he's going to take over for me because I have some responsibilities to look after. And my responsibility is to heal myself. Okay? So then...
You told that to Aloba, that you need to heal yourself?
No. I told,
Palmer.
that's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I didn't tell Mark Palmer anything. Chup.
Chup. No, you didn't mention anything to Mark.
Nothing. Except to do what Alaba tells you to do it kindly, do it gently, but be strict. If he strays out of that, you correct him. And you have to do that, and you have to give me a word that you're going to do that. So he agrees.
So,
Because he's thrilled to death, and now he gets to go all the way to Chicago and so many other places, and I tell you a few stories that of that because I got to send a report.
ایشون میفرمایند که چون میخواسته یه مقداری که استراحت بکنه، خیلی از لحاظ روحی و روانی و اینا مسافرت کردن با آلوبا واسه شون سخت بوده، چون توش بردتشون تو باستون، یه اتفاقایی افتاده همینطور در شیکاگو، واشنگتن دی سی، غیره و غیره. خلاصه وقتی که میخواستن بیان به لس آنجلس با آقای Mark Palmer.
Okay, I gotta take Alaba back to India.
گفتن که شما باید یه مقدار ریستریک باشید، یه مقدار جدی باشی با آلوبا، چون آلوبا یه دفعه دیدی که با یه گروهی از مردم پا میره و غیبش میزنه. فقط باید برنامه هاشو جور بکنی که چیزای عجیب غریب اتفاق نیفته، چون در واقع you were listening actually, or you were following the direction that was given to you by Mehera and Mani and Iraj. So that you felt responsible to be a little more restrict with Aloba. Otherwise, the Iranians would grab Aloba and take him with them, and then it happened to
get to that. So now this group of Iranis, they could, because Alaba would take a pen and sign his name to it, and right below Mayor Baba's, the little round thing, and the Iranians just go print some more, go print some more, go print some more. And that was the money that built Meher Baba's statue in Gotha.
By selling those prints.
By selling those prints. And he would sit on a big bed and everybody around there, more prints, they're going to sign this and sign it, right? And he was thrilled to death, and all the money's there now because he fulfilled his mission that he wanted to fulfill for Mayor Baba, is to put in Hamirpur, in Gotha, build the temple for Mayor Baba, and not only that, put a beautiful statue of Mayor Baba that to this day it prevails right by the school where they have a football thing and that. But I'm almost through with my
Yes.
side.
So what happened چه اتفاقی افتاد این بود که آلوبا یک تمپلی هستش در همیرپور و اونجا خیلی دوست داشتش که یه مجسمه بابا رو بذاره و برای اون سنتر در واقع فعالیت میکرد، پول جمع میکرد که بتونن اون سنتر رو بگردونن و اسم سنتر what was the name of the center's name? Gunpata?
I don't know if it was a name or not. It was right by the Mason Temple. Oh, in Gotha.
In Gotha, بله.
ING of the...
And that was in Hamirpur.
Yeah, about maybe 20 kilometers away from Mirpuri.
20 کیلومتر از مهرپوری دور بودش و برای همین وقتی که آلوبا رسید لس آنجلس گروه خیلی زیادی از ایرانی‌ها اومدن و همه صف بسته بودن و آلوبا درخواست کرده بودش که اون عکسی که زانوهای بابا، پاهای بابا رو خودش در بغل گرفته در موقع جوانی و سرشو گذاشته روی زانوی بابا اونو کپی بگیرن، فتوکپی بگیرن و همه صف بسته بودن و به همه $1 $2 میفروخت. چرا؟ چون اون پولش رو میخواست ببره و در هندوستان در همیرپور اونجا اون سنتر بابا رو که گشایش کرده بودن رو در حال مجسمه بابا رو بس کنه و به اونا بده.
And they have a platform in Gotha, you know, because Alaba could travel anywhere in the summertime. So he was on the run. And he loved the Hamirpur people because that was Baba's heart.
Baba's heart. دل بابا تو همیرپور بود و آلوبام خیلی بابا دوستای در همیرپور رو دوست داشت و واسه همون میخواست که کمک به سنتر اونا بکنه.
And the people from Iranis, all the Iranis that showed up had a heart of gold.
و ایرانیایی که همه اونجا خودشون رو رسوندن دلشون از طلا ساخته شده بود و همه هرچی آلوبا میگفت به هر حال پول میدادن که مثل مکزیکیا اونها هم دلشون از طلا ساخته شده. But everybody, everyone, no matter what country they are from, if they love God truly, the heart is already engulfed with beloved God's light and glory and becomes gold. So it doesn't matter to be American,
in the past we had
Iranian,
contacts with Iran and this and that.
Yes.
But prior to Mr. Reza, the Prime Minister of Iran, everybody was really different. They were beautiful people, and a lot of them could migrate to America as they wish and as they want to build their lives, because this was a lot of the free. And I always loved Iranian people because they're not as festive as the Mexicans, but they have a heart of gold. And that heart of gold that they have is what made that dream of Alba walking at the Villa de Guadalupe and telling me that he's walking on a street full of gold. Who was that street full of gold? The Iranis! Because they are the ones that built the Gotha.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that place. I've been there 50 times or more. And it was because of Alaba being free to travel and choose to do as he wished and wander throughout all of India and spread Mayor Baba's message of love and truth as good as anyone that he could do, and perhaps even better. None of the other Mandali did that. Only Alaba and Bauji, because I traveled with Bauji. in India. And
Contribution because of the giving part
The giving.
Yeah.
They made all of us
They don't think when the beloved asks them to give, they just start writing the check and give. There is no second thought. It's all from the heart, like Baba's pool is from the heart. Yeah.
And I relate that to the dream that Alaba told me, because people here don't have the awareness of the things that I'm talking about behind the scenes. Alaba told me, Tony, I'm in the street paved with gold, and I'm getting everything that I want, because his motive is to build in Gotha, right by the football field that Mary Papa gave darshan to more than 30,000 people.
Wow.
From Malda, which is the next place, from Merastana, from Naranga, from Ichora, from Jhansi, from everywhere else in that area. They all gathered there, and they all praised, and now they can look at Baba's murti or statue, because that was the dream that Alaba had in his heart, and Baba fulfills those who really care and love him and desire to be with him. He fulfills everything for them, because that's his responsibility, as he says. So he says, trust God completely and he solve all your difficulties. Your job is to love me. And those we really love are the ones that have a heart. And I will take care of everything else. Meher Baba says.
Meher Baba, Jai Baba, how beautiful.
And to end this thing, then I'm at the Baba Center. And I find a relief. I'm going to my mom's. So I go tell Alaba, my mom is here, and I have some responsibilities to take care of. But here's Mark Palmer from Chicago, Marky. And he will look after you and see to everything for some part of the journey. And he says, Marky, you know what to do. Don't leave Alaba alone. Because of my perspective of how things could happen. And there comes Dr. Arjan, that lives in Palos Verdes.
RJ.
Arjan, right?
Dr. Arjang. Arjang is the
Whatever.
Persian pronunciation.
Okay, whatever the pronunciation is. So I says, Alaba, I have to tell you that I will be seeing you really soon. And Mark Palmer will be traveling with you all the way. And Alaba looks at me and he says, dismiss! The connection is broken. Alaba yells,
Oh, and
dismiss that I'm dismissed.
Oh, dismiss.
And the connection is broken.
Oh.
And I am thrilled to death, man.
Oh, sure you
know.
Wow.
So now my way, just wait till you hear what happened next. I'm on my way to Mama's house, and she lives in Hollywood, California, and I see the Holiday Inn. I says, why don't I go have a couple of Roman Cokes and relax for a little while before going to Mama's? So I go there, have my few Roman Cokes, I go by taxi, and I go to Mama's house, and then the phone rings.
Okay, let me
Tell me the rest, if you know the rest.
Yes.
You know the rest, right?
Yes, I know, but go ahead, finish it.
Well, because I'm almost done. So I said, here comes the phone call. Because Mark Palmer didn't do his job properly. To be with Alaba at all times or keep him in the sight all the time. So Dr. John says to Aloba, let's go to my house and spend the night there. We have a very beautiful house and very comfortable, and it'll be a blessing for us to be with you. More or less, this is what I think Dr. John told him. So Aloba disappears from the center. Then I get the phone call. Finally get home. Santa Monica Police Department, we're looking for Mr. Ali Akbar Shapur Saman. Hermosa Beach Police Department, this is so and so. Have you seen Mr. Shapur Saman? Because he didn't tell anybody that he was going to Dr. Arjan's.
And you weren't there, you were dismissed. If you were there, you knew where he's going.
So the tension begins to me. What the heck am I gonna do, Baba? Now I gotta go to the police departments and look for Oliver? What's next? Gawa, like they say in India, Gawa. What happened, you know? But the lovely thing was that Dr. Arjan in the morning called the people and he said that he thought that Oliver, that people knew that he was going to stay at Dr. Arjan's. So that softened up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then Oliver went to the Sufism reoriented, you know, the Sufis, Kufis, and they had a room painted for him, any colors, his favorite colors and this and that, and he's supposed to stay in this place. Well, he stayed there and he changes his mind on this and that. But the great thing is that the Chicagoans, you know, especially for many for the first time, to see a mayor, Baba Mandali, man, this is like looking at a flying comet pass by the sky. It's a lovely occasion to be in the presence or was of the Mandali, and for him to hear all of us speak about his pre-mashram days and the this and the that, and I don't know what he said and all this other stuff. We got the part one that tells you a lot of things about it, and immaculate, more than clean, more than adorable. Because the hearts of America were throbbing, praising our beloved that Oliver was there. Now, time to take him back. This is the end of the story, the funniest part of the story. So, we catch a flight, and then we take a train to Victoria Station because we're going to Peril, the Baba Center in Peril. And there's hundreds of Iranians, not Iranians, but Hindus, they're waiting by the dozens and the dozens.
Going back
and
to
the
India.
dozens, yeah, at Victoria Station.
Victor in Bombay.
In Bombay.
Okay.
Yes. We are right in
Train
Mumbai.
station.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from there we took a train to Victoria Station because that way they could see Alaba, know where he is and this and that, and that place is full of Indians. And we're going to Peril Baba Center. And we spend a very comfortable morning there, and then it's time to give my talk about Alaba. But without Alaba's permission in India, I will not do such thing. So they request Alaba that I should say what transpired in America. And he says, Tony Chris, you got 6 minutes only to tell them. So I look at my clock. Okay, it says, dear brothers and sisters of India, beautiful followers of Mera Baba, devotees, and whoever is here, I don't think that I can be able to explain you all the beautiful and miraculous things that transpire in all of us journey through all these 2 different countries in a matter of 6 minutes. And I only got 2 more minutes. How can I tell you about the miracles that transpired? And all of a sudden, all of us voice comes roaring like a lion. Tony Chris, Unlimited time.
Tony Griswold?
Unlimited time.
Unlimited time.
No, I have no limits.
Oh,
So I tell the best to my ability how wonderful it was, how happy I was to be back in India and to bring Alaba safe and sound, and most of all, to have given good reports to Mayor Baba's Mandali, which are waiting. So we board the train from Victoria all the way to Pune, from Pune all the way to that other station, and then we board the train to Ahmednagar, India, in which we arrived in Ahmednagar, and I was very happy, and Alaba was so happy with his business, you know, of being around, that he started crying. I didn't want to go back to Australia. He never gave Australia another thought, because the Australians were a small group in comparison to the Americans, and he just loved all the attention that was paid to him, the beautiful treatment that he received, the adoration of all these Americans that were there, their attention, fulfilling everything that Alaba wanted. You know, he was wanted and loved and admired, because from his days to the Prem Ashram until the year of 1956, when we went to these different places, in August of 66, I believe it was, I have to verify that with Rafi, he had the most fantastic time of his life, and he lost his desire to go to Australia. So he gave Australia up with tears in his eyes because of the love that he received in America. And only God can do that. Only God can move our hearts. And that God is the one and only, our beloved avatar, Meher Baba, Ki Jai, Baba Koraji, Baba Koraji, Baba Koraji. Baba is God, is what it means. Thank you for the wonderful time that I have shared with you, the memories that were brought back to my heart, that I was able to be with one of Baba's mandalis as well as others. And what Mira said, Baba's eyes, Baba's desire, his blessings upon you, and they are. And it's all according to, I did it, what was my intention? Because I said I didn't see Bob in human form, even though I did see him in Hollywood, but I didn't know who he was. And my own desire was to please the Mandali. Every one of them. They called me Santa Claus.
Santa Claus?
Yeah, because Mira loved that perfume number 5, or what is it, that fancy perfume? Chanel number 5.
Chanel number 5.
And everyone got something, especially corset. Oh, and all the...
Alova brought presents for each mandali?
No, I did it.
Oh, you got some
I was
presents.
Santa Claus.
Okay.
And I used to bring all the books that were printed, the Meher Prabhu, you know, the story of Meher Baba's life, 27 volumes. I loaded up. And at that time, the guy from, very famous guy, the Globe magazine editor, now Sherman, he used to check me in at the airport because he was the head of the airlines, or one of that, and no charge at all. With instructions that I should be let pass through without inspection in Mumbai. Thanks for now, Sherman Ansar. One time, 10 suitcases full of all these Baba's Brothers articles. that I had to bring back to India. Pass. What do you got in that suitcase? Oh, I got nothing. You had nothing in those suitcases? No, sir, I have nothing. Okay, go. It was like that. And the last time I went to India, I went with 10 suitcases, planning to be there for the rest of my life. And I had 11. And he says, well, we allow you to take 10. And today for you, sir, they're free of charge. David Nordin was right there with me because he was the one who loaded the suitcases. So one stayed at David Nordin's house and 10 suitcases. Who can do that but God?
Meher Baba.
And that God is Meher Baba. And Baba loves me. I don't understand that because my heart, I'm talking for me now for the last time here, my heart belongs to Meher Baba. I am present in his presence. He is with me 24/7. I even take him out to lunch because I cannot have lunch without looking at his photograph, or I feel guilty, or praising the food that he's given me. And for whatever I do, my Baba's with me. And I want to thank every one of you for listening, and thank you to all the hundreds of Iranians that are in there, you know.
Yes.
And thank you for your heart, and thank you for your love, and thank you for your support. And more than anything else, thank you to Mayor Noosh McPherson for making this event possible, because without her, I never say anything in America, only if requested by one of the Mongols. But I want to thank Mayor Noosh. I want to thank the Iranian community for their love and support and their attention. And I hope you heard things that are really beautiful and wonderful, and an inspiration that there's an Iranian from the Prema Ashram, as well as many others that came from Iran, that really showed us the path of love. We seen those people that guided our hands. And I love my all about till today and until my last breath, because I had the opportunity to be of a man of so much love and so much stature and so many dreams of Alaba too. I dream of Alaba, I used to dream a lot of him, and I love him dearly, like I love all peoples. But to love him manly, man, that's in another league, you know? And to love Alaba and to praise him because he came from Iran, and more than that, Baba was from Iran, descendant. So where does all this love come to the universe now? From this star of Iran, Meher Prabhu, and his father, Shahryar, and Baba's nephews. And I want to thank Baba's nephews and Mother Perrine and Mani for considering me to be a member of Meher Baba's family that had another job to perform. And I did it, and I'm going back to India soon and do the best that I can with thousands of people that are waiting for my arrival.
And thank
And
you.
I will praise the Iranis when I'm there. I will not forget them, and I will mention Alaba as one of my guiding lights on the path of love. So thank you, Iran. Thank you, Baba. Thanks each and every one of these hundreds of people and beyond. And I praise that Baba bless the soil of India with his footprints, because his footprints are everywhere, including in his Iranian visas that he had and his trips to Iran, because that's where he came from, that's where Shariarji came from, and that's where the love came from for this avataric age calling you age. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Tony Grease. We really enjoyed
Thank
that.
you,
Thank
Baba.
you very much,
Thank you,
Meher
Baba.
Baba. And if you permit, I just summarize the last words of yours for today. ایشون گفتن که وقتی اومده بودن لس آنجلس از آلوبا خواسته بودن اجازه بدن که کمی بره پیش مادرشون بمونه چون اوورولم شده بود، خسته شده بود و البته آلوبام گفتش که آره شما دیسمیس هستی، شما دیگه میتونی بری به کارات برسی و برو. بعد ایشون هم خوشحال میشن، فقط تو راه که میخواستن برن خونه مادرشون میگن که بذار برم هالیدی این یه کوکی بخورم، یه نوشابهی بخورم، یکم ریلکس کنم. بعد که اونجا رفتن تلفن میاد از پلیس و پلیس دیپارتمنت و اینا که آقای علی اکبر شاپور زبان با شما هستش، گم شده. کسی به نظر میاد که وقتی که از الی سنتر بودن آلوبا به خاطر درخواست دکتر آژنگ نسرین خانوم و البته تو پلان بوده، پلان همون الی سنتر بوده، منتها یه مقدار نامعلوم بود و قطعی نشده بود. ایشونو دکتر آژنگ میگن که حالا بیا شب پیش ما بخواب، اونجا خونه راحته، فارسی حرف میزنی، بیا پیش ما. ایشونو میبرن و البته آقای پالمر هم متوجه نمیشه که یه دفعه آلوبا کجا رفت. اینه که تلفن میکنن به پلیس و پلیس بیاد آلوبا رو پیدا کنه. دیگه ایشون خیلی نگران میشن، میگن بابا چه غلطی کردم که آلوبا رو تنها گذاشتم و حالا کجا رفته و اینا. ولی صبح دکتر آژنگ تلفن میکنن و میگن آلوبا پیش ماست، نگران نباشید، چون ما قرار بود که ببریمشون ولی مثل اینکه یک سوء تفاهمی شده، یه صحبت نکرده بودن، کاملا کلیر نشده بوده و اینا. خلاصه اینم به هر حال یه اتفاق دیگه‌ای که تو لس آنجلس میفته و بعدش هم ایشون همراه آلوبا میرن بامبی و اونجا ویکتوریا استیشن یه سری از بابا دوستای هندی میان و آلوبا رو میگیرن و از اونجا هم بعدش روز بعد میرن به مهرآباد و البته تونی گریس هم میباید تمام گزارش خودش رو به ماندانیای اونجا میداد که داد و در ضمن توی وقتی که در هندوستان بودن، تو احتمالاً همون بامبی سنتر بودن، آلوبا چراغ سبز به آقای تونی گریس نشون میده که هرچی میخوای بگی از این سفر بگو، تو میتونی همه اتفاقا رو صحبت بکنی و تعریف بکن. تونی گریس تعریف بکنه هر چقدر، زمانت نامحدوده. اینه که بعد ایشون خیلی محبتشون رو به ایرونیا میگن که و همینطور که بابا حضرت مهر بابا مادر و پدرشون ایرانی بودن و همین خدا اینطور خواست، یعنی بابا مهر بابا اینطور خواستش که در خانواده ایرانی بیاد. خیلی ممنون و thank you very much Tony Grease for the talk, and we really appreciate your time and the subjects of your talk, and we hope to see you again. I know that you're going to go to India very soon, beginning of October, and when you come back maybe we can catch up.
6 months from now, and I can tell you a lot of stories of Mayor Baba that no one has ever heard.
Oh, fabulous.
I mean, dozens upon dozens upon dozens. and they are from the people that I met throughout the years.
Right.
It's nothing to pertain to me, and I can keep you entertained of stories of the divine beloved and all these people that he met, you know,
Okay.
and all the Hamirporians. I can give you a 4-hour or 6-hour dissertation and what transpired in Hamirpur and so many places in India and in America that
Thank you very
nobody
much.
has ever heard, if I should be invited to do so again.
And Tony, you also are writing all the stories down, and you are thinking to eventually make it a book and print it, my
Possibly,
understanding.
yeah.
So that's good. So then
Not
everybody
much
can
idea.
enjoy and read it. Merci. We're going to end with a prayer, like Beloved God prayer.
If you want to stand, I'll move the camera.
Okay. Yeah, we will stand.
Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, until we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Meher
Jai
Baba.
Meher Baba.